Well, happy, healthy, beautiful Saturday to you guys. Eric and Isa here. Isa's going to do some contemporary dance here today, aren't you? Nice. Look at that. Wow. Inspiring stuff, guys. We're here.
It's just
Nice.
before someone arrives, and it's like,
That's all right. Wait, she can do it. It's your show. You can do whatever you want.
I can't. Hello, everybody.
There you
hello,
go.
hello.
We're giving
Hello.
you guys a digital cheers toast. Welcome on Instagram and other platforms. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube and the like. Oh, do you not have any tea left? Oh, wow. Jeez, you got very thirsty during our last live. But anyway, guys, we want to talk to you guys today about overcoming disappointments on your journey to success. You're disappointed she doesn't have her tea. Well, that's all right. You can make that happen, can't you, honey? There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Top it up, honey. So yeah, guys, look, I want to share some thoughts with you, some of our experience, some ideas with you that might add more value. I hope it will add, but I'm not in the hoping state. I'm pretty confident we'll add some value to you guys on your journey towards your success.
Not damage anyone. That's what is.
Yeah. Why are you so low?
I
know you're like a taller.
Wait a second.
You're like a taller guy, but that's a bit much.
There you go.
There you go.
There you
Wow, look at that. But that beauty you can make up for the height there, no problem. There you go.
Go on there.
Gorgeous. All right, but she brings out the best in me, and sometimes I cannot pass up the opportunity to remind this beautiful queen how amazing she is and how she
I'm not very good at
me,
taking compliments.
how she ups my personal game to be better and to share more and do more. And you know what? That's what the point of these lives is to share ideas with you guys. So let's get to it. All right, disappointment. Here's a question for you guys. If you're joining here on Instagram, welcome, guys. Who have we got in the house? 24 Dega, Sean, Coastline Alpine, welcome. Jack, welcome, guys. We just want to share some ideas with you guys. Here's a question for you. Have you ever experienced a bitter disappointment that left you feeling a little bit down in the dumps?
I think everybody has, isn't it? Like, it's just part of life. There are people that deal with this better than others.
Yep.
I certainly have had dealt very poorly in the past, and I think that's part of maturity. You kind of learn. But yeah, so.
Do you want to expand on that?
No, I don't even know why I start talking. It's kind of like, let just Eric finish his point. But like, it's just go on. Sorry, excited.
Oh, there we go.
Too many people here. Like,
yeah, no, that's cool. No, really, the point of what I'm trying to get at is everyone encounters disappointments. Everyone gets kicked in the teeth from time to time, and sometimes actually kicked in the teeth if you choose a career path of MMA or something of the lines of that. That is, it is part of the process of the grind of moving forward. Of that forward motion requires you to pick yourself back up again and get out of what Phil Stutz, awesome psychologist, talks about, the maze. Whereas that if you get stuck in life and you're in the maze, you're obsessing over a disappointment or a situation or an environment or relationship. Every time you're in that situation, you get triggered and you feel small again, and you're rehashing the experience in your little maze. And you can see that in life with people that don't move on from that little box that they put themselves in.
It's like the victim mentality, isn't it? Like,
It
why
can be,
me?
yeah.
Why is it happened to me? And I think that's like, if you think about it,
It's
like maybe that's not you, okay? Maybe that's not you, but I'm absolutely 100% guarantee that you have someone that you can think right away that is that person that is always on the victim mentality, kind of like, poor me, why is this happening to me? So it's almost like the person lives in the past and it cannot move forward because everything is justifiable by what happened to them. That's why I am where I am. What happened in the past 10, 20 years ago has stopped me from evolving, because how can I do it? Because that has happened, and then now everything, it just evolves around that guilt or that part of the mind that is just a victim mentality. So yeah.
And if you get stuck there, or have been stuck there, or you're currently finding yourself getting stuck there, that's okay. But as Jim Rohn wisely said, an amazing philosopher. If you don't know who Jim Rohn is, Rohn, check him out on YouTube.
From Brazil.
He is amazing. I was just going to give a shout out there. Electrical, it's the Creatix dancer. Welcome from Brazil. I see Neve in the house from cold Ireland. Neve, the Algarve is pretty chilly right now. I can't even lie to you. It's around 25 degrees. It's amazing. You should go over for a visit. Anyway, I digress. If you fall into that self-reflection of, oh, poor me, and you get stuck in that, I would highly suggest that if you need to speak to someone, do speak to someone, because it's no fun being stuck in that maze that Phil talks about. It's not going to
Where's
bring
the
you
book?
into forward motion. It's there where I left it this morning. Oh no, it's moved. Who stole Teddy Bear? Did you steal our book?
I
Is it
can
there?
see under the computer.
Oh, it's
Wait
under
a
the computer.
second,
Wow.
because Eric is
It's
using this to prop the thing up.
In the computer. Anyone who likes Zoolander, we don't talk about there.
Like, we should be getting
Great
paid
book.
by all the recommendations that we are doing of this book all the time, because
We're recommenders. We're recommenders. If something works and something kicks ass and makes an impact in our lives, we're going to recommend it. So
if you want an investment, then will pay off, and you will understand.
I don't know if it'll pay off. If you
depends
should take action on it, it
exactly.
will pay off.
Point.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for us to, and it's nice the way
Did you tell them the name of the book?
Barry, the tools, okay, the tools.
That's all right for anyone who's looking at
But
the camera.
I think it's important, because I think in many ways, I haven't finished to read the book yet because Eric is reading, so I'm gonna wait. But I think it's
a weird excuse, isn't it?
But I think it's important. I'm just like starting now, and it's nice to have tools on your pocket that you can understand yourself better, because after all, we are all different, but we are all similar in the same ways, because the same wind blows on us all. And if you think I'm very philosophical, here's Jim Rohn again.
Stole my line.
Like,
I was
just
gonna
like
drop
whispering in
that one.
my mind, but the same wind blow on us all. Like, just because something bad happened to you doesn't mean that something bad is not happening to someone that is rich, to someone that is poor, to someone. Bad things happen to everybody, and the way that we deal with these things, and the way that we understand them and try to learn from it, it's what's going to set us apart, and it's going to bring us forward to whatever you wanted to achieve, whatever goal you have, or going to keep you in the same comfort zone that is at the end of all not so comfortable, because it gets you stuck in the same position. So that's a great book, guys. If you want to get for yourself, come back to us after you read it and tell us how that has impacted your life. And I think that is a great book for you to get.
It really is.
Point made.
You know what? And I think if we catch ourselves in those moments of like, there is a really great chapter towards the end of the book where he talks about projecting yourself to your deathbed. And that sounds a bit morbid, but the reality of the situation
only
is
certainty we have, isn't it?
Yeah, as Les Brown says, we're not getting out alive. That's the one guarantee in this life. You ain't getting out alive. You know what? So if you project yourself to your deathbed and you ask yourself, if I was sitting with me in my deathbed, would I be behaving and giving myself advice in the present? Would I be behaving the way I'm currently behaving? Would I be acting the way I would ideally like to act? Am I taking that forward motion? Am I being progressive? Am I being productive? Am I being my happiest self? Am I serving other people and making a difference in other people's lives? Or are you just floating in the breeze, or being a little bit of a whinge bag, as we would like to say in Ireland? It's a kind of a phrase of Irish description of someone who's a bit of a whinge bag, is always whinging and moaning about something because they didn't get what they think they should have gotten.
The victim mentality.
It is that. And you know what? Like Isa said, everyone has got something going on. Everyone has been through some degree of hardship. Some people have been through hardships that others can't possibly even fathom. Like the worst of the worst, and are still here. They're still working on themselves. So you know what? I hope you guys are not having too hard of a time, you know, and that you're finding some degree of happiness in what you're doing. And in some cases, people are finding the greatest amount of happiness in what they're doing. And that's essentially the best way to go, is find out what is giving you great or creating the most happiness for you, and really lean into that. And if you have a big goal or something you're working on, we're working on a massive mission this year to improve the lives of 100,000 people by the end of this year. So we've set ourselves a massive goal. So we have to show up more often in order to connect with more people, create more solutions for people, and really inspire people to look for ways to live their absolute best life. And that's not easy. It's not wishy-washy. It's not a loose statement. It takes work.
It gives us purpose, isn't it? Like, and I think
it gives us purpose, but it gives a sense of reality to people as well as what's required. There's going to be a lot of tough times. It's going to be a lot of sucky times. But my advice, having experienced disappointments, experienced a lot of successful people around me, is that get used to disappointments. Discipline your disappointments. Don't go off whinging about it. Have 5 minutes. If something didn't work out the way you wanted, or you planned to do something and it didn't give you the return you wanted, or the relationship you're working on didn't work out, just take a minute. Take a few minutes to just vent over it. Take 5. Take 5 and do whatever you need to do. Curse, swear, hit the bag, whatever. Cry,
Sometimes it's good to
whinge.
cry.
Absolutely it is, Sometimes you need a good cry. And then step back from that and go, oh, what can I learn from this situation?
That's important.
Be completely objective from that and be like, okay, what can I learn? What's the lesson in this, and how can I be better? One of our coaches always has this process of plan, do, review. Have a plan, do the plan, review the plan. And if it ain't working out the way you want to, is look in the mirror. All right? That's the simplest thing to do. And a lot of people don't take ownership of their own shit. They look to point the finger. That's not personal leadership. That's personal whingership. All right. So really look at you. The book stops with you. Really look at what you want in your life. You're not happy, then make some adjustments. And if you need guidance, reach out to someone that actually has the success that you want. Don't ask for advice from people who aren't successful in the area you want to be.
I think that's so important.
It's madness. It's crazy.
Sometimes we want approval from people that do not have the life that we would like to be living. And I think that's very important. Like, well, let's just say you are asking for advice, business advice, for just the approval of someone, like, I'm thinking on starting that. What do you think? But you're asking that to someone that has been working on a miserable job for the last 40 years, hate their lives, and is a miserable person. And that person is going to say, I wouldn't do that. Oh, well, but maybe if she doesn't do it, maybe I shouldn't do it either. Like, don't ask advice for people that you would not like to trade your life with. Plain and simple. A person that don't have a successful relationship should not be giving you relationship advice because they are not a very good person to take advice from. Like, simple like that. Business, same thing with business, same thing with everything, even health. Like, sometimes you take advice from someone that is not the person of health. The picture of health. If you wouldn't trade life with the person that you're asking advice from, you shouldn't be asking advice from them. Simple.
Nice. You know what, guys? That's an important lesson. Not an easy one to act on, but a pretty important one as well. And also, one last point I want to make on this whole concept of disciplining disappointments and overcoming disappointments is it really a failure? Dealing with failure, I think in the school system is where there's a massive fail. A huge fail, and it needs to change. A lot
nowadays. But
massive fail is the report card syndrome. And Bob Proctor, the late great Bob Proctor, who is a legend in the personal development space, 60 years teaching people how to evolve,
how to reprogram
to reprogram yourself. And he talked about that school card syndrome, which, you go to school to get an education. And of course, these kids are introduced to left brain activity when they're still in a right brain creative process, where kids should be learning about creativity and art and play and curiosity. And then too early, the kids are put into school and like, pay attention. And then it's like maths and shit. And you're like, huh? Yeah, I remember being in school and being like, what the heck is going on here? Like, everything's so serious all of a sudden. Everything's so regimented, and we were wearing these uncomfortable uniforms. I'm sweaty and all this. It was just weird, and it was cool to be around other kids. But I was very intrigued by a lot of the Steiner schools. I learned from Paul Chek. He's one of the best holistic health coaches in the world. But what they do is they really start to embrace that right brain learning in a child until they're 7 years old. So they start to work on their self-image, their creativity, their personal character, understanding who they are, having an opinion, not just being brainwashed, 2 + 2 = 4. Yeah, great. It's important to learn that. But being marked on everything that you learn in school and having that report card, it's almost like that report card philosophy or brainwashing is taken into life, that we're always looking to bring those numbers up on the sheet. Did I do enough of my job, or am I good enough, or whatever it may be? But then we kind of forget about really the bigger picture of where we're going in our lives. What matters most to us? What really matters? Not the report card.
And for different people, it's different things. Like some people really like to help others. They are very altruistic. Like, they like to help, doesn't matter who it is. There are other people that are very protective to their families. Like, they like to protect. It's all about their family. They are very kind of like selfish in that kind of manner. And there's just different people. Like there are people that are more towards making money, have a financial freedom, and have a comfortable life. There are other people that couldn't care less about money. They just want to live freely and travel the world. So we don't learn that in school. We don't learn to find out who we are. That's why there's so much, like, I think that separation when it comes to us as adults. We are still questioning who the heck are we, and I think that's very important for us to think about it. It's anyway, that's just my point. Like, I agree with you, like, the questioning of you as an adult, of who you are.
And you should question. You should ask yourself every day. Look at yourself in the mirror. And Bob Proctor always worked with mirror work as well. Have a look at yourself in the mirror. And are you proud of where you're going? Are you proud of what you're doing? Are you excited about your present and what's to come in your future? But really, the present moment, that's the most important thing. Where are you in the present? Where are you in the present right now?
I'm here.
Are you? You're right here?
Yeah, what you talking about?
Because sometimes we're not really in the moment. We're not there. We're somewhere else. And being present with other people is so important. That's going to help you overcome any form of disappointment. And I think as well in relationships, my last point absolutely on this is when we're speaking with people and you're thinking about when you're going to speak next, or you're thinking about something else that you're not really involved in the conversation, that's going to be a disappointment of an interaction. That's a waste of time, so be present with people, be there, be switched on, be receptive to ideas, and be willing to provide solutions for other people if they're struggling, if they're lost in disappointments. Ask them questions about it. Why is it such a disappointment? What do you think went wrong? What could be better? Rather than, that's a bummer. Yeah, want to go for a beer? I mean, a beer can help. I mean, it really can. Absolutely. Sometimes just kicking back and closing your gob and just having a beverage with someone and just sharing a moment of, I'm just chilling and minding my brain. It's absolutely a very important thing to do. Sometimes we like to just go for a beer.
I would love to go for a beer.
She would love to go for a beer. All right. Maybe we could make that happen. I don't know. See if she's a good girl. But anywho, I digress. Be present with people, guys. It's a big commitment to really contribute to a relationship. Because if you contribute to a relationship, you always leave people with a feeling of increase. Then that person is always going to be indebted to you. And that's essentially what I'm trying to get at is relationships are the best investment you're going to make. First of all, with yourself and then with other people. So this week, we want to invest in everyone who comes onto our channels over the coming weeks. We've set ourselves a massive goal over the next year, but over this next 90 days, we're going to be showing up every single day, sharing ideas, sharing things we're learning, not so long, short lives, just to have a coffee with you guys, have a tea, and share what's on our mind. And hopefully that's going to add some value to you. And some of you guys who listen to what we say and go, I want to take action on that. And that's awesome. Mission accomplished for us. Isa, wrapping up, anything you want to add?
No, don't put it on me. It's your channel, your page.
It's our page.
Your page, babe. I'm just a filmmaker.
Yeah. Well, look, as you
editor,
mentioned before, you're a big contributor to our growth on this page as well, for sure. So I appreciate that. I don't do all my own video edits, but the bumps are real, though. The bumps are real. They're worked for.
I worked tirelessly for the effects.
Oh,
the after effects on those bumps there. Now there's a big keg belly.
Keg belly. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's from all the beer.
All the beer.
Nice. All right, guys, have an amazing Saturday. Love to you all. Hope you guys enjoyed this call. If you learned something new, let us know in the comments. Let us know what your takeaways were.
If you inspired you in some way, if you're going through some disappointment, I have it here. If you're going through some disappointment and what we said made you think about, you know what, it must have a lesson on this, and I'm grateful that it's happening, and I'm going to overcome it. We made our goal accomplished here. My English today my English is awful. I don't know what's happening, but I'm just whatever, not my first language.
There we go.
Se eu começar a falar em português, ninguém vai entender o que eu tô falando também, tá tudo certo.
Oh, wow, it's beautiful. Give me a translation of that.
If I start speaking Portuguese, nobody will understand, but that's okay.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful.
Shush.
I need to work on my Portuguese.
You're going to start
and overcome that disappointment of not getting down the language, But We'll work on it. Guys, love to all. Every master was once a disaster.
I'm going because I need to make more tea.
You've got this, guys. Have an amazing weekend. See you soon. Wow.